Ladies and gentlemen, when God created woman, he didn't just duplicate man and call it a day. No, he took his time. He crafted power. He shaped purpose. He built a vessel not only to carry life, but to carry nations. Women were not an afterthought. They were the final touch, the masterpiece. God gave women gifts, real gifts, not accessories, not ornaments, gifts that shake the world when used boldly and break hearts when buried in silence. That intuition you have, that voice that speaks to you in stillness, that's not superstition, that's divine calibration. Trust it. Stop second guessing what God has already confirmed in your spirit. You were built to nurture, to create, to pour into others and not come up empty. But here's the thing, if you keep pouring into everyone else and never refill yourself, your gift gets dimmed. You lose you. Don't waste that love. Use it wisely. Resilience. God didn't give you the soft path, but he gave you the shoulders to carry it. You've been through hell, and you're still here, still loving, still giving. That ain't weakness. That's divine strength. Don't you ever let this world tell you different. You have wisdom. Woman, the kind that don't come from books, the kind that comes from prayer, pain, and practice. You see what others miss. You sense timing. You read the room and the soul. That's a gift. Don't dumb yourself down to make others comfortable. And empathy. Man, that's your superpower. You feel deeply. You cry when no one sees. You hope when no one believes. That's not weakness. That's the echo of God's own heart living in you. So hear me when I say this. Don't waste your gifts. Don't shrink to fit. Don't mute your voice to keep the peace. Don't trade purpose for approval. There is a woman in you the world needs, and she is not average. Let the world adjust to your light, not the other way around. Because when a woman walks in her God-given gifts, the earth trembles. Intuition is more than just a feeling. It's a sacred whisper from within, a divine frequency that only the tuned in can hear. For women, this gift isn't learned, it's inherited. It's embedded in their spirit from the moment they take their first breath. It's that voice that says, something's off, before there's any proof. It's the feeling that keeps you from walking down the wrong path, or the sudden pull to call someone just before they break. It's not fear. It's not anxiety. It's discernment. And it's real. Throughout history, women have leaned on this quiet power to protect, to guide, and to survive. A mother knows when her child is lying. A wife senses when her partner's heart is drifting. A sister feels her sibling's pain without a word being spoken. That's not paranoia. That's God speaking through silence. That's intuition. But too often, it's ignored, silenced by logic, dismissed by a world that worships facts but overlooks wisdom. When a woman denies her intuition, she denies her spiritual edge. She walks blindfolded in a world that was designed to mislead. But when she listens, when she trusts it, she becomes unstoppable. Her steps are aligned. Her choices carry peace, not just results. Intuition doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers. It nudges. It's the pause before the decision. It's the stillness in the storm. And the more a woman honors it, the louder it grows. God didn't give that gift by accident. It's not there to entertain. It's there to protect, to steer, to elevate. It's a compass not everyone has, and when embraced, it becomes a weapon against confusion, deception, and regret. That inner voice is divine. It doesn't need proof. It needs trust. And the woman who trusts it will rarely find herself lost. There is a kind of strength that doesn't shout, doesn't demand attention, but moves through the world healing, lifting, restoring. That strength is the nurturing spirit of a woman. It's not just about raising children or being motherly. It's a way of existing. A divine instinct to care, to build, to hold others together, even when she's breaking inside. A woman can walk into a room and feel who's hurting. She doesn't just notice pain. She carries it with you. She listens not to respond, but to understand. That is power, not softness. From birth, women are wired to give life, not only physically, but emotionally and spiritually. They nurture dreams, relationships, broken people, broken homes. A woman can see potential in chaos. She can look at a shattered soul and see beauty where others see waste. That's no accident, that's purpose. A woman's nurturing spirit is how God breathes love into a world that's constantly at war with itself. But here's the catch. While women are quick to nurture everyone else, they often forget to nurture themselves. They pour and pour until they run dry. Thinking selflessness means self-erasure. It doesn't. That spirit was never meant to be abused or taken for granted. It's a gift that requires balance. A woman who nurtures herself becomes even more powerful, more present, more joyful, more whole. This spirit isn't weakness. It's the reason homes feel safe, why children believe in themselves, why partners feel seen. It's why communities survive. The nurturing spirit is not limited to motherhood. It's in the friend who shows up without being asked, the leader who listens before acting, the stranger who notices you're not okay. It's in how she loves, how she gives, how she sacrifices without expecting applause. It is, simply put, the echo of God's love made human. Resilience in a woman is not just about surviving, it's about rising with purpose over and over, no matter how many times life tries to break her. It's that quiet fire that refuses to go out even in the darkest nights. It's found in her ability to keep showing up, to keep giving, to keep believing, when every reason says she shouldn't. A woman's resilience isn't loud. It doesn't always come with a battle cry. Sometimes it's in the way she holds her head high after crying herself to sleep. Sometimes it's in the way she makes something out of nothing, not once, but daily. Pain visits her, but it doesn't define her. She's been told she's not enough, been counted out, walked over, underestimated, and still she arises, she learns, she adapts, she grows. That kind of strength isn't taught. It's earned in silence, in storms, in seasons of loneliness and loss. It's born from knowing that no matter how heavy the load, she has no choice but to carry it and somehow still smile. Resilience is in the single mother who works 2 jobs and still finds time to love. It's in the young girl who dreams big in a world that tells her to shrink. It's in the grandmother who's buried loved ones and still gets up to cook, to pray, to care. Every scar on a woman tells a story, not of weakness, but of endurance, of walking through fire and coming out with wisdom instead of bitterness. And the world often overlooks this gift because it's quiet. But resilience doesn't need to be seen to be real. It's in the heartbeat that won't quit. It's in the spirit that won't fold. It's in the woman who refuses to let pain steal her softness or setbacks steal her purpose. Wisdom in a woman is not just what she knows. It's how she knows it. It's not about how many books she's read or degrees she's earned, though she may have plenty. It's deeper than facts and sharper than intellect. It's the ability to see what others miss, to feel timing in her bones, to understand what needs to be said and what doesn't. Wisdom is spiritual. It's layered. It's forged through pain, patience, and prayer. A wise woman doesn't always speak first, but when she does, the room listens. Her words carry weight because they are not just spoken, they are lived. She learns not only from her victories, but from every loss, every failure, every closed door. She watches, she listens, she reflects. And when it's time to act, she does so with intention, not impulse. That's the difference. Wisdom teaches her when to walk away and when to fight, when to wait and when to move. She doesn't need to control the storm. She knows how to stand in it. You see it in her decisions, in the way she builds relationships, in how she raises children or leads a team or holds a household together. Wisdom gives her balance. She can be strong without being harsh, soft without being weak. She's not afraid of silence because she knows that clarity often comes in stillness. She's not moved by every opinion because her direction comes from within. The world will often try to reduce her to her looks, her body, her role. But wisdom is what sets her apart. It's what makes her dangerous in the best way. She doesn't just move with power. She moves with purpose. She doesn't just know what to do. She knows why. That's the kind of woman who changes everything around her without even trying. Empathy in a woman is a force the world often underestimates. It's not just about feeling someone's pain. It's about stepping into it, carrying it with them, and offering comfort even when her own soul is tired. A woman's empathy is not weakness. It is the quiet superpower that heals wounds no one can see. She doesn't need you to explain everything. She just knows. She can look at your face, hear your silence, feel the shift in your energy, and understand that something is wrong. That's not emotion. It's divine connection. Her heart is wired to care in ways that defy logic. She cries for people she's never met, prays for those who will never know her name. She listens not just to respond, but to ease burdens. She sees through masks, senses what people hide, and often offers compassion when all she's been given is coldness. That kind of grace doesn't come from the world, it comes from above. Empathy allows her to love deeply, forgive freely, and keep choosing connection even after disappointment. She is the one who holds others together, who shows up when it's uncomfortable, who remains kind in a world that teaches hardness. And yet she often hides her own pain, not because she doesn't feel, but because she feels everything. Empathy teaches her that strength isn't always about standing tall. It's also about sitting beside someone who's fallen and saying, "You don't have to rise alone." Her power is in her presence, in her ability to be the calm in someone else's storm, to love people not for who they pretend to be, but for who they are underneath it all. That kind of love, that raw, human, divine empathy isn't something you learn. It's something you are. And women wear it like armor wrapped in softness. Creativity in a woman is not just a talent. It's a calling. It's how she brings color to gray spaces, how she turns broken pieces into something beautiful. Whether she's designing, writing, cooking, leading, or loving, her creativity isn't limited to art. It's in how she lives. She can make a home out of chaos. She can turn silence into song, pain into poetry, ideas into empires. She sees what isn't there yet and brings it to life, not because she has to, but because it's in her nature. It's how her mind and soul speak to the world. A woman's creativity is limitless because it's deeply rooted in intuition and emotion. She doesn't create just to impress, she creates to express, to understand, to release. She pours her experiences, her questions, her hopes into whatever she touches. That's why her work feels different. It's layered. It speaks. It holds truth. Even in the most ordinary tasks, she adds something extra, a detail, a rhythm, a warmth that turns routine into magic. But too often, her creativity is pushed aside. Responsibilities pile up. Expectations silence her expression. She's told to be practical, to stay in line, to tone it down. Yet the fire never really goes out. It flickers in her dreams, in her restlessness, in the urge to make something more. And when she finally listens to it, when she honors that creative spirit, she doesn't just build, she transforms. She becomes a mirror of the Creator himself, breathing life into empty spaces, imagining new worlds, and giving others permission to do the same. Her creativity is not a hobby. It's a part of her voice, a part of her healing, a part of her legacy. And when she walks in it, she doesn't just inspire, she awakens everyone around her. Courage in a woman doesn't always come with noise. Sometimes it's in the quiet decisions she makes when no one is watching. It's in waking up and facing another day with grace when her heart is heavy. It's in speaking the truth even when her voice shakes, in standing her ground when everything in her life tells her to sit down. A woman's courage is often misunderstood because it doesn't always look like the world's version of boldness. It's not always loud or aggressive. Sometimes it's in the way she lets go of what hurts, forgives what broke her, and still chooses to love again. She carries fear just like anyone else, but she doesn't let it chain her. She walks through it. She learns from it. She builds in spite of it. Her courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward anyway, to raise her children on her own, to walk away from abuse, to leave what's comfortable and chase what's right. That's not easy. That's not weak. That's heroic. Courage is in the everyday things too. It's in the woman who starts over, who learns something new, who says no when it's expected to say yes. It's in the woman who chooses her own voice over others' expectations, who sets boundaries, who fights for her dreams with nothing but faith and determination. This kind of courage is generational. It breaks cycles, shifts legacies, and sets new standards. It teaches daughters that strength is not in pretending you're okay, but in standing up even when you're not. It shows sons that real bravery comes from the heart, not from control. A courageous woman may not wear armor, but she walks through life with a fire that no one can put out. And that fire changes everything it touches. Faith in a woman is a force that cannot be measured or contained. It's the quiet power that holds her steady when the world is spinning, when nothing makes sense, and when every sign says give up. She doesn't need to see the whole staircase to take the first step. That's faith. It's the strength to believe in something greater than herself, to trust a plan even when the path is dark, to speak life into situations that look lifeless. Her faith isn't naive, it's bold. It's built through trials, through tears, through prayers whispered in the middle of the night when no one else is listening. A woman of faith doesn't live by what she sees. She lives by what she knows deep in her spirit. She knows that mountains can move, that doors can open, that healing can come, even when logic says otherwise. Her faith gives her a resilience that confuses people. It's why she smiles in storms, why she keeps showing up after being knocked down, why she loves like she's never been hurt. Because her hope isn't in people, it's in God. Faith doesn't mean she's never afraid. It means she knows fear doesn't get the final word. It means she's anchored. It means she can sit in uncertainty and still have peace. Her faith teaches her patience when answers are slow, and strength when the load is heavy. It gives her vision beyond the visible, courage beyond the possible. This kind of faith shapes how she leads, how she mothers, how she loves, how she loves. It's not something she just has, it's something she is. She prays over her family, over her dreams, over her pain. She walks like someone who knows she's not walking alone, because she isn't. And that truth fuels everything she does. A woman's voice is one of the most powerful tools she possesses. It's not just about sound, it's about presence, truth, and identity. Her voice carries generations of strength, wisdom, pain, and hope. When she speaks her truth, even in a whisper, something shifts. Walls tremble, silence breaks, light enters. And yet, for too long, women have been taught to silence themselves, to soften, to shrink, to speak only when spoken to. But that was never God's intention. He didn't give her a voice just to be polite. He gave it to shake chains, to speak life, to declare purpose. Her voice isn't limited to words. It shows up in how she stands, how she nurtures, how she leads, how she says, enough. It's in her decisions, her passions, her art, her presence in spaces where she was once told she didn't belong. And when she does speak, when she rises and says what's been burning inside her, she doesn't just speak for herself. She speaks for every woman who felt silenced, every girl who was told to be small, every soul waiting for permission to be bold. A woman's voice is sacred because it is honest. It comes from her experiences, from her faith, from the fire she's walked through. It's shaped by what she survived and what she dreams. She doesn't need to yell to be powerful. She doesn't need to explain her worth. When her voice is rooted in truth, it carries authority. It brings healing. It inspires change. To use her voice is to honor the gift within her. To remain silent when her soul longs to speak is to bury something holy. And the world doesn't need more silence. It needs her story, her wisdom, her fire. Because when a woman finds her voice, she gives others permission to find theirs too. When God created women, He didn't just create them to exist. He created them to impact. He gifted them with intuition, resilience, wisdom, empathy, creativity, courage, faith, and voice, each one a powerful tool in her hands. But too often, women are told to quiet these gifts, to downplay their worth, or to shrink into spaces that make others comfortable. But what the world doesn't realize, that when a woman fully embraces her gifts, when she trusts her intuition, when she nurtures with purpose, when she stands in her resilience, when she speaks with wisdom, when she creates boldly, when she moves in courage, when she walks by faith, and when she uses her voice, the world shifts. She becomes a force to be reckoned with, not because of her physical strength, but because of the strength that comes from within, from the power of the divine gifts God has placed in her. She doesn't need validation. She doesn't need permission. She is already everything she was created to be. The world doesn't need more quiet women who hide their light. It needs women who are willing to step into their power unapologetically and lead with love, strength, and grace. So don't waste these gifts. Don't let anyone silence you. Stand up, speak up, walk in your purpose, because when a woman rises in the fullness of who she was created to be, she not only changes her own life, but she transforms the world around her. The world is waiting for you to shine.